Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on the Flow Designs splitter kit. We're going to be installing the rear of the car now. I'm really excited. This was my favorite part of the kit. I just liked how unique it was and how much different it was from all the other kits on the market. I'm going to get inside, get this thing installed because I can't wait to see it. I just pulled the car inside. I have an hour on the clock on my lunch break. I'm going to try and jack this thing up and get this thing installed. So here's the splitter kit now with the side skirts already installed. We still have quite a few pieces left. Here you can see the side skirts if you didn't see them in the last video. If you want to see the install of those, check out my video. I'll link it in the description of the side skirt install. But now we're going to be doing the rear diffuser. This is a flow lock rear diffuser. It's super cool. This is the main body of it right here. And then we get all these cool little winglets to put on them. And so what's going to happen is those are all fins that are going to lock in between all of these. Essentially the fins are going to go in between the factory fins that are already there. What sold me on the kit, I really like that it doesn't just go underneath the factory diffuser, it actually incorporates with it. So it looks like it does come with a template to drill your two holes, and then I think we'll be reusing factory pop clips for the holes on the outside. We got some brackets here. I'm gonna have to kind of look at the instructions, see where the brackets are supposed to go. And once we get that installed, then we can do the rear spats, which are gonna go on the outside here. And then we have rear winglets for the rear spats. So we're gonna be decking out the entire rear end today. So it does look like I'm gonna have to actually remove the rear bumper cover because we have these metal brackets that are gonna bolt in behind the bumper. So we're gonna have to pull the rear bumper off to get this started. So I haven't actually taken my rear bumper off before, but if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty simple. I think it's gonna be these two 10mm bolts right here, and then just a bunch of pop clips. It looks like it's these two bolts right here, which should be easy. That's probably two 14 mils. And then we should have some included hardware for this. Got the right side bracket lined up there. So I actually did mess up here. It looks like I'm supposed to put these spacers behind this bracket. So let's pull this back out for right now. And then put this stuff back on. Now this bolt might be tricky to get through the spacer and through the car at the same time, but it should be okay. So now this hole right here, we're gonna put another spacer behind that. We're gonna put a bolt with a washer through the one side. That's both provided. There we go. And then we'll put another washer and a supplied nut on there like that. In the instructions it's showing the nut on this side, but I'm gonna put it through and put the nut on the back side. It'll be a little bit easier. I can put the wrench on it, do a little impact action on this front bolt. And then we'll retighten these two 14 mils. We'll put a spacer up on that stud, put that on top, grab another spacer and our factory bolt, start to thread that in, and our provided nut. We'll crank all those down. That'll go on like that, and then I have this bracket here that should go on like this, but I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna play out. I think that'll screw into the bumper, so I think I'll be putting this into the bumper. So here we go, this drilled into the bottom of the bumper and it'll be installed now. I'm a little bit curious as to if I got this even enough that it's gonna work or not, but essentially this will go, the diffuser will go in between here, and then this will bolt to the bottom. You'll put your bumper on first. Put my two bumper clips back in down here. Now this should slide in like that. Remember this? This is the bracket that shows you exactly where to drill the holes, and I completely forgot it existed. But I think I got it pretty good without using the bracket, surprisingly. So I think the way I'm gonna do it, and it looks like they have it kind of structured this way anyway, is textured, and then you'll see like shiny. I'm not really worried about it. We're just gonna slide these in and push them into place. it really does just lock in. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, you can kind of have it out farther, but you can see quite a bit of a gap in there. What I could do is maybe install a little bit of weather stripping or something in there and fill the gap if I want to bring it out further, but I think I'm just going to install it in as far as I can and tighten it down at that location. So the last thing we have to do is install our rear spats. That should be relatively easy because we already have all this plastic loose. It's just these 3 clips down here you pop out and remove those. But now we're gonna take this and line it up. There's already holes in the spat that are gonna go through the rear bumper. So we're only gonna need to drill 1 hole in this, and we'll actually install everything before we drill that hole and just make sure that we have it lined up where we want it. We're gonna take a bolt and a washer and we're gonna line that up and put that through our factory hole there and then put a nut on top. Now we'll do the same thing on the front hole. Now I'm gonna get this where I want it, which is right about there. I'm gonna tighten both of these down and then we'll drill our hole and put our 3rd piece of hardware through. And then we can put our factory clips back in. Now we can install our factory pop clips. So we'll take one of our nuts and washers, line this up and put it through the pre-threaded inserts. Now we can leave those loose and we can slide our winglet around and decide how we want it to fit in here. So with those bolts in there and not fully tightened down, you can slide your winglet around and adjust it how you want. So you can see you can have it out pretty far. You could push the back in and have the front out. You could push the front in and have the back out, or you can push the entire thing in or pull the entire thing out. Tighten down those 3 bolts that we just put in and we are finished. Finished up the install. It is done. It's outside so you can see it. This thing looks absolutely insane. I love it. I freaking love it. You can see as I showed you, I didn't really go as far out on those as I could have. I just put them in as far as they would go. That's where I like them best. I think that looks really good. It's subtle, but still aggressive. And look at these winglets. You didn't really get a good shot of them on the inside, but look at that shape. I love that aggressive design on that. That looks so freaking cool. And here you can see that flow lock design, how it integrates into the factory bumper. Instead of going underneath the factory diffuser, it works its way in between the factory fins and everything else. It just looks really good. It almost looks OEM. Well, it does. It really looks like the OEM diffuser that you could buy from Subaru, just with some extra fins on it. But man, I mean, that just looks so good. It's so subtle. The only thing that's missing with this would be something nice to connect the spat and the diffuser that would go under the exhaust. But to be honest with you, that exhaust that I have on there now would probably touch it and screw it up anyway. I do have something too. I do remember complaining to you guys about this, where my bumper was burnt from previous exhausts, and then I basically had to trim it to fit the exhaust that I had because it wasn't the best fitment. And so now I got this one. Well, look what I just got. I got these little pieces here. It's just a cover that's going to go over top of here, and I'm going to have to paint this to match. Yeah, I could definitely get this under that winglet. There we go. So once that's installed, it's not going to be actually touching the exhaust. Hopefully this won't burn. If it does, maybe I'll get a metal one if they make them. I don't know if they make them. If you guys know, if somebody makes an aluminum, like a metal version of this, let me know, because I really want one. It would hide all that. Maybe I'll paint these to match the car, or I'll do something, you know, to make them pop a little bit, or maybe do a texture look like that. I'll find a way to do something with them. But in the meantime, I'll just have the cut bumper, but it looks so good with that diffuser. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Anyways, guys, another big thank you to Flow Designs Australia. I'll leave a link in the description to this full kit if you want to purchase one for yourself. And of course, all we have left now is the front splitter and the splitter extensions and the splitter winglets. And we'll get those tossed on, and this will be a full kit. Really excited to get this fully done. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.